So
Oh, okay.
27 pitches, 20 strikes, allowed 3 hits, no runs, and struck out 2.
Do we have a first pitch strike percentage there? Which is my most important.
I feel like Dodger Insider didn't
Dodger
tell me.
Insider does not have that. Okay. It's the most important stat of all time for me, at all times, regarding exhibition starts, personally. Where are your thoughts on what the Dodgers are looking like in terms of spring training, and what's your biggest? I know you guys host Blue Review, obviously.
Yep.
Where is your mind at right now regarding Los Doyers?
Just keep everybody healthy. I mean, I think that's job one, which when it comes to pitching has been a tall order the last few years. I mean, obviously they were able to cobble it together and make it work between the starting rotation and the bullpen last year, but they've got legitimately 6 guys that they can put in a starting rotation. The lineup is as deep as any lineup I think I've ever seen in my lifetime from top to bottom. It is just about keeping everybody upright and healthy and productive from now until October. I think that's really it with this group.
I think that's a big part of it. I was saying earlier today on Clinton and Friends that this is also a different vibe in spring training. Championship spring training is a totally different situation. When it's like, oh, you guys see the rings? Oh, you guys don't have questions about whether or not anybody can do this? Do you? Yeah. You can come out and say, oh, guess what? We got some studs. That being said, for me, the number one story is obvious, and it's what's going on with Shohei. Because when I read in the LA Times the other day that Mark Pryor said it's unique and we're going to wing it, I was like, okay. I mean, I get it. There's no real way to lay out the plan because nobody's ever done this before. But, Greg, at the same time, that makes me a little nervy because you don't know what decisions you're going to have to make down the line. Let's just say it's mid-July. Half your pitchers are out the same way they were last year. Shohei's maybe iffy to get a start. What are you really going to risk just for the sake of him wanting to do it? I know that's a down-the-line question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do wonder how this brass and front office is going to sort of handle this on a week-to-week, start-to-start, or whatever it may be basis.
I think what they're going to do with Shohei is basically what Shohei wants. If he's also is kind of iffy in those kind of things, they'll be like, hey, why don't you take a week off? Why don't you take 2 weeks off? Because it doesn't matter. The regular season, they're going to run into 100 games. They're going to probably win the NOS. I would bet a lot of money on it. So they just need to get to the postseason. So all these guys, and they have such depth that Marcos was even talking about it. You have 6 to 10 guys that can fill in for him.
Sure.
So you have enough guys to fill it. Just let Shohei be Shohei. If he needs a little bit of time off, give him it. I don't care what he does in the regular season. I don't need 50-50.
Right, but you're
with a Cy Young caliber.
You're underselling the possibility that he might legitimately be like, I'm starting every 5th day. And then you're like, okay.
6.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't, if it's not working or something goes wrong as a result of him pushing it, then you're in a tough spot. It's not just a shoulder injury. By the by, which he got running the bases, not even pitching in the World Series. And he's had 2 TJs. I would have such kid gloves on this situation that I would almost have to tell Shohei, we're doing this.
Oh, Bobby
our way.
Miller just got
Miller
smacked
took
in
a
the
line
face
drive
with a
in
line
the
drive.
head.
Oh,
This is what I'm talking about.
that's scary.
Tough.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Hitting the head.
Ooh,
Bobby
yikes.
Miller is rubbing his
Right
head.
at the middle.
His hat came off. He
He's
went.
standing back up, but that was scary.
He went down front first on that.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of the way of the ball. Rogers is out talking to him. The umpire's out there as well. He's rubbing the top of his head.
It doesn't look like a mark, at least not yet. It may swell up and bruise. But
Yeah,
for now,
but you can tell by how much he's touching it where the pain is coming from.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Oof. Yeah, there's a big red mark right where it got him
Yeah,
on the
that's
forehead.
going to leave a mark.
That's
It did leave
Terrifying. That's
scary.
terrifying.
This is a whole other discussion in terms of, exit velos back up the gut. But here's what I'm saying, Greg, separately, is if they run into a situation where they're like, Shohei, we don't think you should be throwing right now. And he's like, I'm throwing. I hate that. I hope it doesn't get to that. But on the flip side, here's what I would do, and I love this idea, is like, okay, you've got a 6-man rotation. Okay, Shohei's like, I'll throw whenever you guys want me to throw. I would have surprise Shohei starts, straight up.
Just surprise.
Like,
You got
bam!
Shohei.
Guess what? Once a month, every other month, you're like every 6 weeks or so, it's like, guess what? You're facing Shohei tonight.
So
deal with it.
I think they can get buy-in from Shohei because this team is so deep and so good. I feel like if this was still Anaheim, it's Shohei saying, I'm going to start because I give us the best chance to win. This is, all right, I would like to start. I think it would be great, but I know there are 6 other guys back there who can handle this on a given night. And I think for the Dodgers, it is important to keep him safe and healthy because not only are you losing a big arm, you're losing your big bat at the top of the line. I mean, it's a double whammy if Shohei goes down.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he can still hit, obviously. But this is where the long-term question becomes, Greg. Like, do you really need Shohei's arm? Or are you only basically playing to his desires?
So, no, need is relative, right? Like, because you have so many other guys, you don't need Shohei's arm. They won a World Series last year without his arm.
Right.
So it's a very nice extra piece that you want him to, because that's kind of the whole Shohei thing, is he does two different things. But if he only hits, I'm totally happy.
You sure? Are you sure about that?
1,000%.
If you never, ever see Shohei Ohtani pitch in a Dodger uniform, you'll be happy?
Absolutely.
And that's because of the World Series I'm taking
The World Series,
That's fair.
You've already made money hand over fist. You've made his contract back.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I think that would.
I want to see
serious?
it. But Marcus, if you never see Shohei pitch and he only hits, or even flip it the other way around, if he never hits again and he only pitches and he's amazing pitching, are you going to be okay?
As long as they're winning,
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah,
fine.
Exactly.
I don't know, though.
But, there's part of me that's just like, I just want to see it.
We were sold a bill of goods.
I just want to see it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there would be a genuine disappointment if the Halos were the only team that Shohei ever pitched for in the bigs. I really honestly do.
He'll pitch. He will pitch this year.
Can we go back to the idea of maybe moving him to the bullpen, making him a closer?
I don't love that. That to me, that feels like too much of a psychological lift every day for one guy, or not every day necessarily, but every opportunity. There's dudes that can barely handle that role, and that's all they do when they wake up in the morning knowing they're going to do that whole day. You know what I'm saying? It's the hardest job in the game, technically, in terms of, leverage and, the spot and all that. I think you're asking a lot of a guy to be a closer and even get close to getting to the plate. Maybe that's just me. Maybe he could handle it, but that would be unique on a level that even Shohei for me would be a tall task.
Yeah, I'm not so big on him as a closer either. If there was actually a starting pitcher that I'd want to see as a closer, it'd be Dustin May over Shohei.
Yeah.
Also, you already have like 7 closers in the bullpen right now with Tanner Scott and Michael Kopech and Blake Trine. You got enough dudes back there. But if you take a starting pitcher, it's not Bobby Miller. It's Dustin May.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's got the craziest stuff. And, he's hardest to hit. But, man, that was a tough shot off of Bobby Miller's dome.
Ooh, hopefully he's okay. That was apparently it was 106 miles per hour off his face.
He did walk off under his own power.
Thankfully.
So,
Yeah, we saw that.
but, yeah, that's just terrifying.
Is anybody getting out to spring training from the station? Is anybody going?
I'm going just on my own recognizance.
Yeah.
When?
Thing.
They letting you out of prison, buddy?
I'll be out there. I'll be there next weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to Camelback or not. I'm just there basically for 24, 36 hours, something like that.
Okay.
Want a buddy to go with?
Sure. Here's my I'm old story for the day. Like,
sure.
I used to go. When I was in college, it was a spring break trip. My best friend went to Arizona State. I'd go sleep on his couch, and we would go back when lawn seats were still $5 for ball games. Now it's like regular season prices to get into spring training games.
It's a little different. It's a little different.
So, yeah.
Anyway, what do we got on the other side, Greg?